What's crazy about the whole thing is that CBN is not a piggy bank. It's not agile that you just be on the streets. How is it possible that the president's signature was forged, and who did it? We are about to uncover the layers of this really tangled mess. Who benefits, who loses, and where does Emefiele fit into all of this? It is scandalous, it is shocking, and Nigerian politics couldn't write a script about this if they wanted to. This is the height of craziness. Now, remember 2023, the cash crunch, the naira scarcity, remember all of that. It was such a chaotic moment, and it marked the beginning of a downward spiral, starring none other than our wonderful ex-CBN governor, none other than Godwin Emefiele. Now, Godwin, or like we like to call him Mr. Godwin, has found himself in a web of forgery, a criminal breach of trust and whatnot. And it's just a case that maybe he's going from frying pan to fire, but I am actually mind-boggled at the fact that this is happening in Nigeria. An EFCC witness, Mr. Mariaga, who is a forensic document examiner, has testified in court, and it has been confirmed that the signature of the former president Buhari was forged. In addition to the signature of the past secretary to the government of the Federation was also forged. The sacked CBN governor is accused of masterminding this whole forgery fiasco. Allegedly, he cooked up a letter claiming that it was from the office of the secretary to the government of the Federation, requesting for a staggering 6.2 million, not naira, but dollars. $6.2 million for logistics advances in line with the president's directive for the 2023 election observers, right? CBN does a lot of this management when it comes to INEC and things that have to do with election. Okay, so before I jump in, I want to hear your thoughts. Is it possible that Mr. Godwin is the only one who would have carried out this crazy heist? Because at the end of the day, that's what this feels like. It feels like a movie heist. And do you actually believe the examiner? According to the examiner, Mr. Mariaga, after meticulously analyzing the document, he concluded that the signatures on the documents were different from authentic specimens. Mr. Mariaga pointed out differences in pen movement, loop formations, and even the presence of tremors, because that's how you'll be able to test whether or not someone's hand was the one that signed the document, because we all have very distinctive handwriting, right? And some people can forge signatures, but it takes a very specific skill set. Now, this forensic expert concluded that the author of the specimen's signatures did not sign the disputed documents. So basically, he's saying that President Buhari and also the former secretary to the government were not the ones who signed that document. Now, here's the crazy part, and this is the part where I asked myself, what? Under cross-examination, because of course, Mr. Godwin's lawyers are going to go ahead and cross-examine Mr. Mariaga. The forensic experts clarified that he's actually not a member of EFCC. Okay, cool. He's on loan from the Nigerian Immigration Service. Okay, no problem. But the part that really confused the court and even me is that he said he did not analyze Mr. Godwin Emefiele's signature on the documents. So, make it make sense. Are you not supposed to analyze everyone's signature to make sure that the whole document and all the signatures on there weren't forged? Because what Emefiele is now contending is that his signature was forged, but you did not examine his signature. So, at the end of the day, that whole case is in the dumps. To me, Emefiele already he's won. Of course, the former CBN governor has pleaded not guilty to the charges, and he said that his signature was forged as well. This is the biggest part that is really choking me, is that the fact that the president's signature can be forged, it's the breach of trust in the highest level. It's a serious offense, and of course, if found guilty, it will lead to serious jail time. Kiri, like proper jail time. It's not going to be a fine. What's crazy about the whole thing is that CBN is not a piggy bank. It's not agile that you just be on the streets and there's no systematic procedures. There are procedures. Like, these people are the ones guarding the money of the nation. And it shows you how weak their system is, how weak their internal control is. Oh, CBN? I mean, come on. Like, even my own bank, they can't even forge. Before they will release money on from my own account, if there's a check that's being cashed, I know what the bank will do. They will call me. They will ask me. They'll say, are you the one that wrote the check? And telling me nobody went to go and ask the president, President, are you the one that said that we should release $6.2 million? That's trillions of naira. I don't want to hear it. All I know is that this thing is not only Emefiele that is part of this. If he is guilty, if he did forge this document, he couldn't have done it alone. He is not the mastermind behind it. There are other powers that be that did it with him if this document was forged by him. Plain and simple. Or it's the case where he had no idea about it and everything on that document was forged. Because we don't even know if that's his real signature. Because why? his signature wasn't examined. Someone on social media said this: forging a president's signature can only happen on 2 conditions. 1, if the forgery is true, then the so-called president is dead. 2, there's an agreed complicity by the president to steal in his name and blame someone else for the theft, making forgery claim fake. I mean, and that's a huge far-fetched accusation, and this is what someone on social media said. But it is actually crazy to think that a president's signature can be forged. Like, there has to be some sort of due diligence that's done before money of that amount is released. And if we don't have that in place, I'm scared for Nigeria. Like, good luck to us. Anyways, comment down below and let me know what you think is actually going on and what you think actually happened, because we know in this country everything is crazy. Anyways, let me know your thoughts, because this is crazy. We all know this is a country where monkey can eat money, so anything can happen. Oh, but on a brighter note, is minimum wage gonna be 800K? Woo! You gotta click on the next video to find out what is happening with the NLC.